Hey guys, it's me, Ron Williams. Welcome back to the Ron Williams YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about building the body that you want. And this has everything to do with having that physical appearance that you want to have. I've had lots of questions that have alluded to this in the fact of how much cardio should I do? How often should I do the weight training? What should my reps and sets be? I'm trying to get lean. I'm trying to get this certain look. And, out of all of the questions that have come in like that, I've come to the realization that what people are really saying is, how can I get the body that I want? Well, I do what we call body sculpting, where you use the different energy systems to actually create the body that you want. And what I mean by that is this, is you have three energy systems. You have the phosphagen system, the lactic acid system, and the aerobic system. Some people are overweight and they say, I want to get lean. So they start using the aerobic system and they get the body fat off. You have to be very, very careful of that, because as you get the body fat off, using this aerobic system also requires utilizing the muscle. The aerobic system is designed to build long linking muscles like a marathon runner. Now, is that really what you want as an end result? Aerobics or aerobic activity, really, really good for the heart, necessary for all of us to do aerobics. But is it the body that you want to end up with? So you want to be really careful if you want full muscle bellies, rounded muscle bellies, and you're doing aerobic exercises. Now, I know, some of you are going to say, I have round muscle bellies and I do lots and lots of aerobics. That's genetic, guys. That's something that you have genetically. But those that are trying to maximize their bodies and what they want to acquire, they can't just go off of what they genetically have. Some people are genetically born with huge calves and they say, oh, I walk on my tiptoes, the reason why I got these calves. Or I do lots of running and that's why my calves are so big. No, you were born with that. You have a long calf muscle and you have lots of muscle fiber there. So anything you do is going to help that calf look better. Some people have very shallow tissue there and they have a short high calf with a long bone, and they can work their calves till the cows come home and they're not going to grow very much. So a lot of that is genetic. I'm talking about outside of your genetics. Genetically, I wasn't born with the best genetics in the world. But what I did is I utilized the energy systems to maximize what I wanted to accomplish. If I want huge shoulders, I'm going to use the phosphagen system. So that phosphagen system is the exercises that you use from approximately 5 seconds to about 20 seconds. It's gonna cause that phosphagen system to work. Outside of that, you start to enter into a different energy system, which is going to build a different type of muscle. If I'm going to use the aerobic system on a muscle group, I'm gonna trim that muscle down, and it may not be very defined, but that aerobic system is going to build a longer, linkier type of muscle, and I may want to use the aerobic system for a while in my abdominal area so that I can trim the waist down. If I use the lactic acid system, it's going to be the system that uses, that actually creates more definition and striation in the muscle. So if you're a sprinter, you run the 200-meter dash, the 400-meter dash. These are going to be people that have this great intensity and just a lot of energy that's been expended at one time. It's not a distance run and it's not an absolute sprint when you get to the 400 to the 800, but around the 200 and the 400, you're going to see those people that are extremely defined. So, with all that being said, in bodybuilding, it's not, when you say bodybuilding, you're talking about building your body and making your muscles fuller, making the muscles larger. Now, the aerobic system is not necessarily going to do that. It's more for the cutting phase, when you're cutting and leaning down. So what is your objective? For me personally, what I am doing currently is I'm using all three energy systems, and I'm moving slightly away from the aerobics that you would get from 30 minutes to an hour, but more like 15 minutes of more intense aerobic exercises, and concentrating on the resistance training, because it's the resistance training that actually builds the muscle and brings density into the bones. The larger the muscle, the more dense the bones are. And in order for me to get those bones dense, I have to create pressure against the muscle. And that's going to cause the muscle to grow. What does that mean to you? This is what it means. What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want the muscles to be bigger? Do you want the muscles to be long and lean and more striations? What are you after? Some of us, we say, well, I want my shoulders to be big, I want my chest to be big, and I want my abs to be shredded. If that's your goal, let's use the energy systems to make that happen. So with your abdominals, you're going to do exercises that go up to 2.5 to 3 minutes, because that's when the aerobic phase kicks in. 2.5 to 3 minutes consistently working on those exercises. That's why you see a lot of people that are doing circuit training, because they have this is an intense workout. They're not getting a lot of rest in between sets. That's why you see people that are working on the bars. Levi mentioned it earlier, bar stars. They're ripped because they're working intensely, and they're using the muscle, forcing those muscles to work. And it's an intense workout. So the muscles get shredded. They're using more of the lactic acid system. So they may not be very huge per se, unless it's genetic, but because they do what they do, they're building from the lactic acid system, and they get ripped all over, and they have decent muscle bellies, So decide what it is that you want to accomplish, and I'm going to talk more on this subject here in the near future. But until then, God bless you. Give me a thumbs up. Let's make it happen.